Today, we will be learning about how to record our moves. We record our moves so that we can go over and check our games. When we record moves, we have to clarify which piece is moving. We use a capital letter to show the piece that's moving. Knights use an N. Bishops use a B. Rooks use an R. Queens use a Q. And kings are represented by a K. Pawns don't use any letters to represent themselves, so when recording their moves, just write the square that they move to. Here is an example. The pawn has just moved to d4, so this move would be recorded as d4. Here is another example. The pawn has just moved to c5, so this move would be recorded as c5. We record it this way unless the pawn captures. If a pawn captures, we write the file it was at, then an X, which means capture, then the square that the pawn has landed on. Here is an example. The pawn was at the D file when it captured the black pawn on C5. This move would be recorded as dxc5. When any piece besides the pawn moves, the letter goes first, then the square it moved to. Here is an example. The knight has moved to e4. It would be called NE4. Here is another example. The bishop moved to A6, so it would be called BA6. When any piece besides the pawn captures, it is exactly the same as moving to a square, except an X is added in between the letter that represents the piece and the square it moved to. For example, the bishop took on e2. So this move is represented by bxe2. Check is represented by a plus sign. The plus sign is added to the end. Here is an example. The bishop took the pawn on f7 and it is also check. So this move would be recorded as bxf7 plus sign or check. Checkmate is represented by a hashtag. Like check, the hashtag also goes on the end. Here is an example. The queen has moved to e6. It is threatening the king and the king can't do anything. So it's checkmate. This move would be recorded as QE6 hashtag or queen to e6 checkmate. Promotion is quite different. It is the square it moved to, then an equal sign, then a letter representing the piece that it promoted into. Here is an example. The pawn has just moved to h8 and it promoted to a queen. So this move would be represented as h8 equals queen. That's it for today, and thank you for your time. If you enjoyed the content, please consider to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.